Ladies and gentlemen, here we go into game number 1. It is going to be Colonel Cruncher against Liquid Sheth. Of course, joined with me is going to be one EG, LZ Gamer.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you, Andre?
Doing fantastic.
Torp Higginson or something like that.
Higginson?
I butchered your last name on purpose.
It's close. It's close. Nevertheless, we are going to be starting things off on our good old map, Metalopolis. This is NASL's Metalopolis, so it's a little bit of change up. As we said before, there are destructible rocks at the gold expansion. Not a big deal. That's about it. Also, actually, I take that back. We also have another big change. There's going to be cross positions and forced cross positions, making it always macro matches. Well, no, that's not true. I take that back.
That's not true.
Because it could be double proxy gateways or something.
But cannon rushes, come on, we can't forget about cannon rushes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, doesn't matter what position
I'm
you are.
I'm sorry, want to be cool. I'm sorry. I forgot about you.
His whole religion right there was just...
I know. You know, he's really, really awesome. I've actually talked to him so many times. He was actually on the same national team back in the Brood War times. Wow. And he's just like, oh, I like that image because, you know, now everybody is scared of them now. So, you know, it's that extra little thing you have to worry about.
Exactly.
Looks like both these players are just exchanging words first before they exchange blows. Sheth is going to be, of course, spawning in the 6 o'clock position over here as the purple Zerg. 12 o'clock position, we do have Cruncher. Now, in particular for this map, LZ Gamer, it's so weird calling you that, but LZ Gamer, what are you looking to do? What is your overall goal as the Zerg player?
Well, you know, it's hard to say. I mean, a lot of it comes down to player styles, you know? Sheth has a very unique player style. He is not afraid to put on early pressure with some roaches. Yeah. He is very, very smart when it comes to his play style, which I think is one of his strongest factors. That and him being just one of the nicest downright players you'll ever meet at a tournament or anything. Yeah. He's just an awesome guy. But, you know, going against Cruncher, who last week took down Vibe in some amazing fashion. Like, he played it really, really smart. He came up with some nice warp prism harass and stuff, which I think we might even be seeing from Cruncher again.
Yeah, I definitely hope so. Cruncher did say in his interview that he likes that type of style, so hopefully we see that yet again. We do see him not going for the Forge Expand, which we saw last week around, but he's gone for the gateway. It's looking to be something like a 3 gateway opening, but there is also, you know, fast Dark Templars, fast Stargate, things like that that are very applicable in this situation.
Absolutely. You know, he could even be going for what players like to do now, which is actually expand and pretend like you're macroing off of like 1 gateway while you're teching to DTs. It's the most deceptive thing ever, because if you don't apply pressure, then it actually comes to bite you in the end. We do see that Zerglings are out for Sheth, and he actually did this really smart too, because he went and got plus speed, and I think speed is actually a good opening on this map, because there's so many paths probes could make around your Zerglings and stuff. It's always good to be able to shut down that scouting.
Yeah, I have to agree. There is a Zealot in place already. Very, very due diligent of Sheth. Look at this. This one Zergling on the right-hand side is going to catch the probe that's all the way at the other main of the, the other main. Right behind those, and there it goes. Yep, the probe is going to be spotted. Zergling's going to take that down very, very easily, and that represents a lot of scouting power that initially Cruncher had. No longer does he have that.
And I really like what Sheth's doing here. We see that he is timing his second queen to finish right as his hatchery is going to finish, so he's going to be able to start with that double inject. I'm really looking forward to see if Sheth's planning on taking a third. We still don't see any gas mining from him, so is he going to go straight into that third base? Look at Sheth. He's being really smart. He's, you know, making sure there's no pylons in his base. He's doing a little extra scouting just to make sure.
Yeah, it's just, you know what, he's just making sure that he's absolutely safe against everything. Look, that Twilight Council going down right now. It looks like there could be either Blink Stalker or, as you said before, Dark Templars. I'm assuming it's going to be something like Dark Templars, just because, well, it could...
I don't think we're going to see Dark Templars. This is a lot of Sentry. Yeah. Like, he's putting too much gas into Sentry for it to be Dark Templar. I think we're going to maybe even be seeing maybe a Blink Stalker push, you know, with some Sentries.
It's interesting to have a Blink Stalker push, though, with, again, so many Sentries. Not a lot of times you see that because, you know, you blink out and all of a sudden you lost all your Sentries, and it's like, why did I just invest all that gas there? So I'm kind of interested how that's going to work. Oh, Sheth is actually attacking down this one Nexus. It's going to be forced to cancel. That's going to be a huge hit to Cruncher's economy just because he loses that chrono boost and that mining time at that natural expansion.
Also, his probe wasn't there anymore to rebuild it, so it's just a overall delay.
Oh my gosh. And again, just being annoying, Sheth is so good. And yeah, there's the Dark Shrine. It's going to be Dark Templars.
I'm kind of shocked he's even going down the Dark Templar path at this point. This is not an early Dark Templar rush.
No, by
this
no
is
means
really late. Maybe we'll even be seeing some kind of timing attack with Archons. Like, that's even a possibility.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool. I'd love to see something like that. I haven't seen anything like that actually in recent PvZs. We do have the Evolution Chamber already up for Sheth, so he will be able to make Spore Crawlers. Does he make a preemptive Spore Crawler? That's going to be the big question. Now, the big thing Sheth has to worry about is this going to be a canceled Nexus? Because a lot of times, Protoss will cancel it, and it fakes out. Zerg makes it look like they're going to do some sort of economy build. All of a sudden, there's 5 gateways bearing down at your natural, and you're in a lot of trouble because you took a 3rd expansion.
Absolutely. It's a very dangerous build, but we are definitely not seeing that this game. I mean, he's taking the gases as expansion. He also dropped a Forge. You never would even go Forge if you were planning on doing any kind of Nexus cancel. Sheth is doing such a good job. He's scouting all this. He's seeing that he wants as much gas as possible, but he does not have any Spore Crawlers at his 3rd. He has no detection at his 3rd to stop these DTs that are, I believe, on their way there. I could be mistaken.
They are. 2 Dark Templars are going to be going directly into the main. Oh my gosh, there's nothing blocking that ramp, but there is another Spore Crawler on the top. Very, very nice play. It looks like another Dark Templar is going to be coming in here. Cruncher is actually not going to be able to do much. It looks like that one Dark Templar was trying to be focused down. The other Dark Templar is doing a lot of damage inside the natural, but that's going to go down to just straight up drones. It was weakened by that one Spine Crawler over there. It looks like these Dark Templars are not really getting a lot for their, that much bang for their buck.
I have to say, I think it was a mistake for the DTs not to check and see if he has a 3rd. He didn't have any extra scouting information. I think you should always go towards the 3rd, and if they don't have that, then go towards the natural.
Yes.
You should always check for their last expansion and not try to go for their first.
Here we go. 2 Dark Templars are going to finally get into the 3rd. Spine Crawler does finish right now. The Spore Crawler is being focused down right now. Is it going to be able to go down in time? Drones coming off the line, and it looks like, oh my god, 1 Dark Templar is going to stay alive. It's actually targeting down the Queen instead of the drones, which are probably the more important thing. Now finally going for the hatchery. It looks like no Overseers are up just yet. Are there? Let me go ahead and check the units tab. No Overseers. Oh, excuse me. 1 finally made. And now it will get over here and kill that 1 Dark Templar. So for the most part, Sheth defending against that very, very nicely. And I think he's way ahead because of that.
One thing, though, a DT did actually kill a Roach Warren in his main. So that's going to slow down any kind of Roach speed, timing, or anything like that. So that's good. But how much has he invested into these DTs?
Oh, I know.
You know, he's put... DTs are not cheap. Like, you have to invest into them. And I don't know if he actually got the cost out of it.
It's a lot of gas. That's the big part. The gas that we've seen so many times, the limiting factor. You can look at each Dark Templar as a Colossus, because, you know, it's just 50 minerals away from a Colossus. So a Dark Templar equals a Colossus, or excuse me, 2 Dark Templars equals a Colossus because it's a limiting factor. That represents a very, very large chunk of change that you're giving up and not really getting that much results.
It's true. And another DT goes down at the 3rd. There's still a DT in the main, but he has the Spore Crawlers. You know, he has the Queen there. I'm just not so sure. He even has Zerglings and Roaches in his main. I'm not sure if he got anywhere near got his value out of that.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous right now. Now, finally, it looks like Immortal is coming out for Cruncher.
This is very weird. We have an Immortal coming out. We have a Cannon going down in a very random location at Cruncher's Natural. We have a 4th going up for Sheth, which I think is really smart. If you shut down that DT harassment, you know that you can take another base because Protoss has to rebuild up because they invested so much into that.
You know what? That's what makes Sheth such a dangerous player. He looks to take his advantages in economy, and as soon as economy starts to get roaring, he just has endless waves of Zergling pressure, or excuse me, Zerg pressure, and it could, of course, be Zerglings if so chose. Now we do see the Zerglings are sprinting up on the left-hand side. Is Cruncher going to be able to block this off in time? I don't think he has the means to do that. Zerglings finally get in here. And this one Nexus is completely barren. Finally, units are going to come in here. Big warping coming down. 4 Zealots are going to be killed before they're even warped in. It looks like Cruncher's units will get here in time and scatter these Zerglings away, but it looks like they might be going towards... No, they're just going to go straight over here. Always have that option, though, to be able to deny that Nexus coming up there. Very, very nice play.
I think that's one of the things that makes Sheth a smart player. Like, for example, a lot of players would have ran in there and tried focusing down the Nexus to try to get a cancel. And he knew that his army probably wasn't far enough away so that he would have got that. He would have came, he'd had to run away. But right there, he took an advantage and killed 4 free Zealots for that, you know, and got that much more of an advantage into the game.
Yeah, and it's awesome. Literally, Zerglings are just larva, a lot of people say. I mean, you always have an excess of minerals. We can see that Sheth is spiking up to the 1,000 area. Hasn't even taken that 4th base. It looks like a Dark Templar is wanting to come over here, but there's a Overseer that's just going to block that. Now finally drawing units out of position. It looks like these Zerglings should be able to sprint into the natural, but they're not going to do that. They're just going to chill here. I guess he's just thinking too many things, but he had the chance to really get into the main, actually, and do a lot of damage. Fortunately, that wasn't going to be done, and Cruncher's just going to take his 3rd, sit back, and go into that maxed army, but he's very far away from that.
Yeah, I think Sheth has needed a macro hatch by now. He does not have a macro hatch anywhere. He's just playing constantly off of all 4 bases that he has. But his money's going to be booming with this 4th base just up now, so I think he needs that. We also see a drop coming in. We see that he loaded up all these Zerglings and even some Roaches also to support that, and that's going to be really good because he also has these Zerglings parked out in the front here, so he's going to be able to draw his army away with this drop and then maybe put pressure on his 3rd. With these Zerglings. I think
those Zerglings are really, really nicely positioned. They can go all the way into that 3rd as soon as the units are pulled out of position. Actually, this one Warp Prism might catch these Overlords coming over here. Yes, they do. And he sees it. He moves the Warp Prism. This could spell disaster. Now, finally, Cruncher is going all the way over to the right-hand side. Dark Templars being warped in. Very, very intelligent. They're going to be able to one-shot most of these units inside these Overlords.
We do see that he thought about sending some units, but he was actually really late with sending those units in. Like, he doesn't have much, and these Zerglings are now killing the entire probe line. It's just finally being pulled. I mean, he is going to clean up this Roach Zergling, but it did do quite a bit of damage. While that's going on, Zerglings and actually Banelings being run into the natural here, killing more probes.
And look at this. Actually, Infestors are going to get over here and stop the ramp. Oh my gosh, it almost looks like it's like a force field and the sentries are doing it. But nevertheless, oh no, the Infestors are trying to run away, but there is an Observer over here. Looks like there is enough to fungal just only once, so I would say Infested Terran might come out of here, but Sheth is actually just going to lose these straight up. It looks like Cruncher will clean up all of that, but his economy's in shambles. 28 probes to his entire name, and it looks like that one War Prism on the right-hand side wasn't able to really do anything at all just because he doesn't have the means to. Look at that. Sheth is just playing on ball, on cue.
Absolutely. He's doing a phenomenal job. But right now, we do have a counterattack coming from the Protoss, but Zerg is almost double his supply at the moment.
Yeah. Right now, he's going to need a miracle. There's so many units over here. Banelings, Zerglings, and Infestors. That's a great army composition, especially one against Cruncher's current one, although those Archons make short work of Zergling Baneling. We'll see how it works out right now. It looks like the 4th base is under attack. It's in a lot of trouble. Is he going to pull the trigger before he kills that 4th? That's going to be the big question. Looks like he's going to lose the hatchery.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's afraid of making a bad attack, but now he's actually decided to engage. Banelings come in here. Great force fields from the Protoss, and he has to retreat. There's nothing he can do with that.
Yeah, this is a great army composition. Looks like the Banelings are not able to connect just yet. That's going to be the last of the sentries. The sentries are all going to go down. Looks like this is thinned out quite a bit. Not a lot of units at all. Infested Terran being dropped right now. Now finally the force fields are going to clear up. Banelings being splattered across units that aren't really good to be splattered against, but it's not going to be enough. Cruncher is going to GG, and first game goes to Liquid Sheth. All right, so break it down for me. That was a sick game played by Sheth.
Absolutely. It was, he was spot on with macroing. I mean, he might need an extra hatchery or something, but I mean, heck, we all make mistakes, right? Nobody's perfect, but he played phenomenally. He played really smart and intelligent. The thing I loved was that how he shut down all the DT harass. Cruncher kept committing to that DT harass. And before long, he just realized that, wow, I invested so much into this.
Now, is that a standard thing to do, getting that preemptive Spore Crawler? Because I feel like he got just one Spore Crawler in the natural, just kind of blindly. He just, I don't know what he was defending for, but is that like standard Dark Templar timing?
That's standard. I mean, he saw that he made a Lost Century early, so if he went DT, it would be a later DT. It wouldn't be at like the 6:30, like the fastest DT you could possibly go. But he did actually do it really smart by also putting one in the main in case of Void Rays. Like, you never want to just play like, oh, well, I don't see them, so they're not coming. You have to always be thinking ahead, Zerg. You have to be very reactionary.
Well, you know what? It's just those small little nuances that make you that tip-top player.
Absolutely.
And Sheth really showing and flexing his muscles that last game. You know what? He's looking fantastic. We're going to see, though, Cruncher did make a lot of big plays in that last game. We're going to see if Cruncher can tie things up or if Sheth can take it out. 2-0. Join us. We'll be back after this break.